should have the distraction of the television going on. But right now we have Planet Earth 2, or we have Planet Earth
with subtitles on.
with Richard Attenborough. Yeah, so it's all sorts of subtitles. So it's like you might just get nothing out of us at all, because like there's nothing. Like we're not nearly as interesting as this. Like
Is this?
It's a
What's
capybara
crazy
and
is
a
that
jaguar fight we're watching.
So we're watching. Oh, there is. I thought they only were doing the subtitles for the odd, like the sounds, not the vocal, because it was just like growling in brackets.
No, it's got all David. She's ruled the search. So I can do
all right.
one. Her place here is too hot.
So again, you're gonna have to talk into the mic.
Oh, jeez, with this stuff again.
Well,
should I just get a headset with a mic on it?
I'm gonna get you a Madonna mic.
Yeah, or just
it doesn't have to be like right up under your chin and being like real. You can hold it out, but just point it at your mouth.
Maybe I can just get a Bob Barker mic.
Like,
remember how Bob
push
Barker
it out.
had that?
It looks like you're feeling like it's right in your face.
Oh, it is.
And then lift it up so it's pointed at your mouth.
Oh, Jesus. This?
Okay, you're doing this.
Like that?
Don't do this.
Yeah.
Do this.
Oh, like that.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right in my face.
You can push it back a bit.
All right.
All right. There you go. It has to be pointed at your mouth, the place the audio is coming from.
I feel like I'm strapped to the electric chair.
Yeah.
To sit absolutely perfectly.
I'm going to get one of those next.
Yeah.
That'll be for the finale.
I think I like the Bob Barker mic. I have like that 2 foot long little stick.
I'll quit.
You can hold it from the hip.
I'll
would
quit.
I'd always be wearing a tux while I'm doing this.
Telling people to spade their kids. Their kids. Sorry, spade their pets.
Spade their pets.
Yeah, have your kids spayed or neutered. You know what we didn't do, which we might need to pause and do?
Oh yeah, what's that? Oh,
we didn't. We didn't research.
I did my research.
Did you?
I did
you
my
look
research.
Up mine too, because I did.
No, I did mine. I did the Ottoman Empire.
When you inevitably have to stop and take a piss, I will stop and take a look at my research.
So someone's going to get a 2-minute Wikipedia bio.
Yeah,
paraphrased by you.
For those of you listening, there's a few things we said we were going to do before this one, not realizing the fact that it was only 2 days later we were going to record it. So a lot of those things are probably not happening. Like, I didn't watch There's Something to Do with Kevin, or whatever it is.
There's Something About Mary. No, it's We Need to Talk About Kevin.
Yeah.
What did you call it? There's Something to Do with Kevin.
Whatever. I don't know.
There's something about with Kevin.
There's something to do with Kevin.
There's something about with
I wish there was something to do with Kevin. What is it called? What's it actually called?
We Need to Talk About Kevin.
We need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, we can't talk about Kevin this one, but maybe in the next one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's you. I mean, I'm the one handing out. Movie projects are a bit much. Not everyone can watch a movie every day or something.
But. Yeah. I wasn't able to fit that in. No. I barely got everything edited, went to work, and also got it up online today. So, we definitely, I having a second listen while I was editing, I definitely want to continue to do our terrible takes on history, because that was something that, although very ashamed, listening back was like, you know what, this can work.
Yeah.
If we continue to find things that we're completely uneducated at.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, I was. I did my research on my topic, so we'll talk about mine, and then we'll also shame you for not doing anything, and then we're gonna ask you if you can remember what he was, and let's hope you didn't forget, because that'll be really sad.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
No, okay, all right. We looked it up together after the fact. Last week.
Bree looked it up. Yeah.
And we all talked about it on the porch. So now you have to remember what he was, because you've had 2 shots at this now in your lifetime to know who this guy was. And one was with explicit instruction. So
as to what he is. All right, well, you tell me what the Ottoman Wars were. Somebody at work said, yeah, I know what it is. I was like, shit.
Yeah, I guess, well, the Ottoman Wars was, apparently, we bit off more than we could chew here. I can't sit back like this for, all right, okay. So the Ottoman Empire, it's far more a vast topic than I realized. Mm-hmm. And very embarrassing we didn't know anything about it. The Ottoman Empire, to my understanding, I'm going to paraphrase Wikipedia here. The Ottoman Empire, which was 1200 to basically 1919. That's how long it lasted out. And the Ottoman Empire was the entire southwest Mediterranean.
War lasted?
Wasn't a war necessarily. It's called the Ottoman Empire itself. Was a society that is now considered Islamic and whatnot. They had several sects of religion. They existed from 1200 to 1919. They basically fizzled out during World War I, and all the properties were divided amongst those things. And there was a ton of infighting, and that's why they refer to the Ottoman Wars. But there was also an Ottoman genocide, which I thought it was going to be about. So there was this
So you were kind of right.
It's literally, it's.
So it was not.
I was kind of right
between.
But it was basically about 2,000 years of just wars, all infighting and everything, because it was an Islamic sect that said we're also going to give religious equality to everyone. But they had their own courts, and it just caused tons and tons of infighting over a course of a century, and it just fizzled out quickly.
So what you're telling me is it wasn't a fight between a couple over who could put their feet up more.
Yeah.
Right. So I was wrong.
Yes. So we were both. Yeah, we were both wrong. We were both very, very wrong.
You said something about genocides. I mean, you were much closer. I'll give you the win on that.
That did exist. Apparently, their government later faced war crime charges for basic genocides of the Armenians and two other sects of those populations. But it was a tough read to realize how stupid I was, and everyone should know about that story. It's a pretty. I
mean, there's a lot of stories out there, and unless you come across it somehow, in high school and in public school, I had zero interest in history. I didn't want to learn about it. I find it way more interesting now. I kick myself in the ass about not learning it, but back then,
did you get real history back then though?
I don't fucking know. I didn't pay attention. Really? I had a teacher who told me, if you just show up, you will pass this class. Yeah. So I literally showed up and put my head on my lap the whole time.
That's despicable. That's a shit teacher, man.
Yeah, and I just all right, whatever. I don't care.
They'll let you down.
He's you need this credit, and I was like, well, I have no interest in it, and I've already failed so many tests. He's like, if you just show up till the end of the class, like the end of the semester, then I'll give you a pass. And I was like, all right, fine. Yeah. And then
don't go learn now.
Yeah, the year before that, I was trying my best. I was trying my best, trying my high school-ish best to do good. And when I would show up, I wouldn't really pay full attention, all that, and whatever. I would write the test based on what I remembered kind of hearing in class, but not really paying full attention. And I ended up getting a 51 in the class. And the teacher was like, you actually earned a 50? But everyone knows that if you get the 50, it's just because they're just giving you the pass. Okay. So I gave you 51 because you earned the 50. And I was like, okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
That one was a nice one.
I had tons of. There's teachers that didn't care and they wanted you to do well for yourself, and they knew that what they were teaching didn't matter. And I understand that. But the teachers that actually just really phoned it in, I had teachers that would come in and just read Cosmo in the corner and just not do anything.
Give you the workbook.
Yeah. I had maybe 6 of those throughout my entire education. Ridiculous people. And that can really make an impact on somebody, but what can you do? This planet Earth is really fucking distracting, though, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you went all the way to fucking ACDC town before we came down here.
Yeah. Confession, I smoked a joint before this. I don't typically do that.
I've never seen you smoke weed unless it's after the bar.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter because it's nap time in 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't particularly ever like being high.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here I am.
I've never seen you smoke weed.
Yeah.
Well, should we turn this off?
Then? I don't know if we turn it off. We just have to keep things rolling because we had things to talk about here. Did we not have things to talk about?
Well, yeah. We recapped your...
Oh, the Ottoman Empire. I'm sure people were enthralled with that so far.
Yeah.
And then you blew it.
And then I blew. So I'm gonna look it up. I'll look him up right now.
We'll make to give everyone a left. Henry Kissinger. I bet
Henry Kissinger.
Because you didn't even remember the name, did you?
I did remember the name because it's plagued me for the last 2 days.
Now, before you look him up, I want you to tell us what you suspect he did right now.
Even after having
learned.
Fuck.
After all three of us discussed it.
We talked about it. I know he wrote a few books. He was involved in political affairs. He wasn't the
Surgeon
Surgeon
call him
General.
a politician. Like you could call him a politician.
He might have been a politician.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. But I remember that I was also wrong.
Yeah. You said Surgeon General, but he was a secretary of education, maybe?
Go ahead.
I'm going to look him up. We got him right here. The United States Secretary of State, the 56th United States Secretary of State. He was a Republican, and he won a Nobel Peace Prize. That's what happened.
A controversial Nobel Peace Prize, I believe.
Yes, and I remember
he tried to return it because he felt
he was for the United States getting together with China.
Oh yeah,
to make sure that the Russians didn't take over sort of everything at that time. And then he has been on the side of Donald Trump, making relations with Russia now.
I'd say more
to make sure,
probably being with the U.S. government on it, not with Trump.
He's the head of the government there. Yeah. With
I hope we never bring him
GOP,
up on here.
Whatever it is.
For the record, I don't ever want to talk about that dude. And so far, we've managed to not talk about that orange-haired prick out there. So I just love that.
No, it's
We're never going to have it on
here. The president of the United States at this current time.
Yeah.
He's on his side right now, and or at least with that party, in making relations better with Russia, so that China doesn't have the upper hand when it comes to everything. So he's just kind of like he wants things to be equal amongst the world.
Geopoliticist.
Yeah. So whatever that means. I am the least political person on the planet.
A big word there. Geopoliticist.
Yeah, I wasn't going to call you out on it. But
yeah, probably.
Fucking, we're going to have to turn this off, man.
What's that? Turn what off?
This fucking neon fucking psychedelic fucking mushroom video that's happening on fucking Netflix right now.
They're showing fast-forwarded clips of, like, coral growing and...
fungi.
Yeah, just... It's amazing. Oh, Jesus. You know what? You're always up my ass about causing too much noise. Look at you go. Holy shit.
I unplugged the headphones by accident.
Oh, my God.
Trying to get comfortable on this fucking couch.
What's with the black socks, Mike? I've noticed the last 3 times I hung out with you, you're wearing black socks.
I like black socks.
What are you like? No, come on.
I
don't understand black socks. They look like shit.
I know they are going to not look really shitty and dirty like white socks do after like a week. Look at these. Look at the bottom of your feet.
Well, the bottom. I mean, who's looking at the bottom? Who's ever going to see that?
Post a photo of your bottom of your feet. Go on our Instagram. They're going to be posted your fucking socks out there.
Everyone's white socks look bad at the bottom of their feet, but
so there you go. There's my answer.
Yeah.
Look at the bottom of my socks.
Yeah, but the tops of them are black. You look like a mobster.
And so are the bottoms.
Yeah. You look like not Anthony. Who was the Anthony Soprano Jr., wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was waiting for you to figure that one out. Not Anthony, but what was the kid's name?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that one was Tony, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, how you feeling?
Stoned.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Bex, please.
I love that. I love that you picked the Bex. I'll tell you why right after you crack this.
Why? Are they, like, super fucking old? Or is there a new sponsor?
yeah. We're recording, yeah. Sponsored by Bex. Ooh, you heard it. It's that little tinfoil cuff.
Woo!
Looks a little classy.
It does look classy. It's
Suddenly
not.
I don't feel so white trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's with you in green bottles?
I really hope it's not like I'm actually pleasing the eye and I'm tasting the beer. Like I hope I'm not that susceptible to branding.
I feel like you are.
The beers that I enjoy most are in green bottles. I don't know if maybe that's some beer connoisseur could probably tell me why, but I don't know why. Maybe I like the taste. Maybe I'm actually an absolute failure to branding, and it worked on me. Who knows?
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I think there's something to it because I know that like alcohol and things in dark bottles, it doesn't the light does affect it.
Yeah, yes.
So there is something to be said. That's why a lot of like all the clear like Corona ripoff beers, they all taste like Corona because part of it is actually being in a green bottle.
Yeah.
Or a white bottle.
Yeah.
And green bottles, they generally do have a similar taste. I find Steam Whistle's way off that, though.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I think they're kind of a breed of their own.
Have you had a beer in a green bottle that you didn't like?
I can probably say no. Then that's what makes me worry. Maybe I fall victim to aesthetics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grolsch.
I've had a Grolsch and I've liked it. And I also like there's those 1664s.
I don't know.
Kronenbergs.
Oh, yeah. In the blue bottle.
In the blue bottles. God damn, they look beautiful. And
those taste nothing like that. They're like pineapple.
Yeah, but I'll drink one and be like, this is my favorite. I love them. And I'm like, maybe I'm actually falling victim to the aesthetic of it.
What's your favorite gin?
Oh, Beefeater.
All right, it's not the bottle then.
Yeah, no.
Because there's gins that come in very beautiful bottles.
Yeah, but a Beefeater, I don't think I can name a better looking bottle. I mean, that's aesthetically pleasing to me, so who can say?
Bombay, for sure.
Bombay Sapphire. And then there's that big green one with the handle on it, too. Tanqueray.
Tanqueray. Both of those are better bottles.
It's beautiful bottles.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Can we turn off the fucking zebra show? Seriously? Please.
We've had Planet Earth going with Richard Attenborough for the last...
But we're not listening to it. It's like a fucking moving wallpaper.
It's insane. Well, can you imagine something more distracting than animal fights? Like...
I don't give a shit about... What's this one? Sand grouse. I don't care about the sand grouse. Not today.
Oh, the sand grouse?
I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Sounds like a bird to me.
It's a great show. Don't get me wrong. I just think with this will go better without a backdrop of zebra fights.
Well, we should get a video audience. Again, we should hang cameras and they could watch us watch Planet Earth. That's more entertaining than just watching Planet Earth.
Twitch stream us watching TV.
Yeah. You seen that Snoop Dogg video with him doing Planet Earth? It's amazing.
That's a wicked idea. I haven't heard that.
Oh, dude, it's super good. He was doing it for the Jimmy Kimmel show.
And he just goes and says the exact same thing that Richard
he just goes up and they just show Snoop some Planet Earth stuff, and he's like, oh, yo, is they gonna step up on him? Oh, is he gonna step up on our croc? And there's a bunch of like, I guess they're like mongooses, and he even says like, what is these guys? What are these guys, like mongooses? And then they like, they're gonna sat up on him. A crocodile tries to grab one of them, and then there's like 30 of them come marching down. It's like, oh, yo, they gonna sign up with him? Oh, damn. Oh, yo, get out. We done boys. And there's like 30 mongooses scare off a crocodile. Oh, he's the best guy. I love him.
Oh, man. That's fucked up.
He killed a guy. You know that?
Like admittedly? Yeah. Or is this like hearsay?
He killed another gangster in self-defense. And did time and got out. And
I think...
paid his debt to society. You know, I think it worked out for him.
I know there's a TV show where Snoop Dogg and what's the cooking chick? She went to prison, but was for tax evasion or something.
Yeah, I can't believe I can't get her name right now, but obviously
Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart, thank you.
Did they meet in prison?
Of mine. Did they meet in prison?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they commingle in male-female maximum security to white-collar crime prisons. And he was in prison when he was like probably 18 or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I heard today? I heard it's official that Disney has purchased and Fox has purchased Fox. So they're getting all of Fox's like television and movie programs. So Fox is keeping. They're going to go like sports only, but all of their like video and everything content, like TV shows, movies, all that, it's all going to be owned by Disney.
I don't know. Maybe that's better, but because Fox is corrupt as fuck. But I don't think anything's going to change. It won't change a thing. It's just another conglomerate, right? Like, and GE owns that, and GE owns them. And
friend of mine, Ben, who's part of the Mass Nerder Cast podcast, he posted and he said, as far as like big world globalization is concerned, it's a terrible thing. Like, this sucks because Disney's eating up everything there.
But he's more excited about the movies.
And his post, which it made me laugh pretty good, he also got me excited. He's like, we're going to see the Hulk and Wolverine fight. And I was like, that's fucking true. That I can't wait to see that. Cool. Yeah. And watch the Hulk just fucking tear him to pieces.
Because I scrolled past that article you're talking about, I think, right there, because that was the headline, Will Wolverine and the Hulk fight? And I guess it was probably due to just that.
Yeah, they've apparently...
What happened with the director of Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, he's fired, so he's out.
And just because he made, like, anti-Nazi, anti-Trump tweets?
No. He made very, very terrible, like, pedophile jokes back in 2009.
That was Dan Harmon.
No, this is also James Gunn. So people are, I guess, going through people's old Twitter feeds and finding things that they can dig up dirt for or something. I mean, I get it. Disney's, they're a child brand. They don't do R-rated movies. Apparently, they have stated though, because if this goes through, and which apparently it's official now, they will own the Deadpool series. So people were like, well, what the fuck? Like, if Disney owns Deadpool, they're not going to be able to do it. And they've made a statement like Deadpool is another entity under that Fox label. We'll leave it the way it is.
I think it doesn't mean what it used to mean when something, they're not going to adapt anyone's cultures. I think the money just goes up a different branch now.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to kind of.
Like, I don't think they're going to just, like, merge it right into fucking
No,
Disney.
you don't have to go by their morals. You're a making money company. They just want to conglomerate you. They're not trying to change.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead is not a Disney princess, per se, is what you're talking.
Yeah, well put.
Yeah. But that does get me excited. Disney's doing a streaming service eventually, and they own everything now. They have Marvel, they have Fox, they have Star Wars.
You've been to Disneyland?
Not since I was like 12.
I never went.
Yeah, Disney. I went to the Florida one, Disney World.
I can't imagine something like my parents would have, like, no chance. Like, there's no chance either my parents could hang out in an amusement park. No way.
No, like, they couldn't handle that type of, like, craziness, crowd, rides, lineups.
I don't think I ever went with them. I think anytime I ever went to Wonderland, like our local hills out here, our big park in Ontario, Southern Ontario, Canada. We don't mention that ever, do we? Have you mentioned that before, that we're in Canada?
I don't think anybody that's listening doesn't really know us yet.
That's true.
They I haven't thought of it, but for those people that are jumping on board and maybe don't know who we are, yes, we do. We live in the Greater Toronto area, in Southern Ontario, Canada.
We didn't do an intro. I'm really getting sidetracked. We didn't introduce each other either on this one.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
it says left, they clicked on it.
You're on my left. You're technically also on my right.
Eventually.
I have Mike Smith.
Yeah. And this is...
You're going to shuffle this back into the start.
It's not happening.
No.
We'll do things a little different around here.
Fuck it.
And this is Justin McDonald.
A.K.A.
the ACDC boy.
Grandma Dynamite.
They could have come up with a better name for weed than ACDC. That's like...
Oh, that's really uncreative. I know, but I think they're branding to appeal to crowds. Really, like when you
think so?
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be like a pun they could have thrown on it or something, you know?
Yeah, but
or maybe they're running out of names.
They're running out of shit. Just like when you look at the horse names, it's just terrible. Horses get like really insulting names. Like, you're gonna call an animal that's really mean.
Yeah.
You gotta call an animal "go away, homie." Like, some inside joke between like four and a half feet tall men.
Like, grandma makes the best raspberry pie, like, in first. Yeah, like, that's what they're naming horses. Like, it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, how many horses have you fucking owned, dude? Yeah. But going back, so that Disney thing, that was happening because they fired James Gunn. I did see a meme today that was... I mean, it was funny. It wasn't funny. It's perspective, I guess. But it was the title. The title was "Disney Fires Disney for Old Racist Cartoons That Were Uncovered." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And they posted like Mickey in blackface or something. And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
oh me, oh my.
I can't believe you did that well. Your voice is so deep. Oh man.
Yep. Well, I can sing, man. We're waiting for the belt to turn over.
Please
and
don't.
This is going to be a singing podcast. You're just going to talk me through different songs. I'm going to sing you through songs like Elvis and like one of those 1950s
It won't happen.
movies.
I'll quit.
You know Elvis is still alive?
Oh, really?
I'm not fucking with you on this one.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, and I've read them all. And I literally believe that the most likely one of all the conspiracy theories that Elvis didn't die when he died. And he definitely...
You're not the first person to
carried
think
out
this.
Well, I think it's like, people still think like, I saw him in a Vegas bar doing a routine at an impressionist contest. He was actually there. Those stories are nonsense. There's like tons and tons of evidence.
But this one's not.
Well, he had 3 different death certificates. And he... the whole thing was just convoluted. Like he had a planned death and then a proven death. And it got really strange. And he was jumping all over the damn country, doing all kinds of cool shit. He had a really fulfilling life, according to people that claim to be in the know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, any conspiracy theory's got to have something to back it up, and they're usually pretty decent at digging something up. My favorite, though, whether it's true or not.
About that one, I think Elvis maybe potentially still being alive.
I don't think he's alive anymore.
No, but even if you plugged around for like 20 years, that's
my favorite is that he worked for the CIA. That was my favorite conspiracy theory about it. That he was like, they quote unquote killed him off, and then he worked for the CIA for a long time. The most recognizable person of all time.
Strange.
Going out and working for a covert operation.
But it is a fact that he expressed a lot of interest in doing it, and apparently the FBI or somebody, I remember he was a badge-carrying guy of something.
I think they gave him an honorable...
or something, yeah.
Yeah, FBI badge.
But he took it very seriously and was pulling a lot of shit.
He did go to the army or something, didn't he? Didn't he do that? I don't know much about Elvis.
He did get... Yeah, there was something about a draft in him. I don't remember what it was exactly.
Here's a impromptu, terrible take on history.
Oh, jeez.
Did he go? Do you know if he went? I know there was pictures of him going off to war or going off to...
I know for sure that he was in platoons, and there's always stories of being in Elvis's platoon.
Yeah?
Like yeah. Did
he go to war? Like, did he actually see action, as they say?
I couldn't say. He might have been like when Prince Harry goes to the military, stuff like that. They just keep an eye on him.
He does his 8 months.
Yeah, just
that's fair.
There are guys that are cut out for those front lines, and they know who to pick. I think the guys that they know that don't want to be in the first 4 knuckles in a fight, they're way in the back. They got headphones on and stuff. They're doing something else. I think that
they didn't have headphones plugged into anything then.
Yeah, like radar. Remember that radar?
Like they were like listening to music in the back.
No, I'm referencing the actual character Radar from MASH.
Yeah. Okay. You're the worst.
Edit the whole thing out. But I think I was getting there. Was I doing a good job? Bad job? I tend to think of myself as a good whistler.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you're a better whistler than you are a singer. That's about what I'll give you.
You've never heard my genuine golden voice.
No one's heard a golden voice out of you.
No, I'm like that Michael Jackson guy. Remember? Okay. Someone brought this up to me. Maybe it was you. No, I think it was another guy. He talked about at work day. I don't get the episode of The Simpsons where Michael Jackson was portrayed by a large, bald black man. Or white man.
Yeah.
A large, bald white man.
Yeah.
What?
Lisa, it's your birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Yeah.
The training wheels come off your back. Start to notice boys you like.
Fucking idiot.
So, what was the meaning in that? What was the meaning? Why they had to...
It was an episode of the fucking Simpsons. It doesn't have to have any meaning.
Michael Jackson was the guest voice on it, right? So why does it like, Michael, we want to have you played by a giant white a crazy person and a
Michael Jackson didn't... I don't think Michael Jackson actually voiced that character.
Oh, I'd like to be right about that.
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
No way.
Yeah, I don't think...
Okay. I'll bet money on it. I'll bet a pride thing. Okay, we'll do a pride contest.
Yeah, like...
All right.
I mean, like $5. I'll bet you $5.
No, if I win, you have to drink a whole bottle of Pepto-Bismol.
No.
No, all right.
It's not. I will not do that.
It'll kill you.
Would it?
Nah, it's like iron. It's solid iron.
Yeah. When I take the recommended dose, I don't need to bathroom for like 3 days.
I've never had that problem. But maybe I have had that problem and not noticed it. Like if I'm not pooping, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, that's when it does.
We talked about shitting on the last podcast, didn't we?
Well, yeah.
Let's not do that again.
All right.
I don't want to talk about going to Browntown.
Yeah. So the one thing we did talk about that you were going to bring up but didn't was a story, and I know that it ends with you almost getting shot.
Yes.
So
no, that's the denouement of the story, where I was like, yeah, I could have drawn my gun on you. Portion of that story, but
tell us.
No, because we decided we were doing the new, what do we call it? I don't know history lesson. What do we call this?
The terrible take on history.
Terrible take on history. So we're going to do the new topics on terrible take on history.
You want to do that instead?
We're going to do we're doing public figures as the theme this time.
Well, I have a public figure. Do you have one?
I have a public figure. Yeah.
All right. You want me or you to go first?
Flip a coin.
That's a bottle cap.
Nah, it's coinish enough for me.
All right.
Or do you want big side or no big side?
All right. I'll go big side. You're a fucking idiot. He threw his fucking lighter behind the couch. You fucking idiot.
As I released it out of my hand, I'm like, oh shit, it's going behind the couch.
You're an idiot. Flip that bottle cap and don't throw it behind the couch.
All right, I got the
fucking moron.
I got heads. We're gonna call that heads.
All right, it's me. All right,
Tails.
you go first. I won.
No, it's heads up. I'm heads up.
You pointed this to me as heads.
Oh yes, I'm heads down.
Oh my god!
I just complicated a coin toss.
You know what I win? I win the rule that you don't get to get high before we record.
That's a good rule, man.
Deal.
No, never gonna happen again.
All right.
And
who's your public figure?
It's gonna be George Thorogood.
He's a musician.
I know he's a musician, but I don't know anything about him and his history. And
well, shit. What do you want me to sing an album? I don't know.
No, that's the thing. Like, don't you feel you should know more about him?
No.
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 I thought he was, but he didn't just have like one.
He was like a hair metal-y something rock singer, I think.
Yeah.
That's the most that I think I got on him. Was that the?
You got the. I got a
song
rattleskin necktie.
Rattlesnakes. I was gonna say rattlesnakes.
Tell me who do you love?
Yeah.
Tell me who do you love? Yeah.
He was like, he probably toured with Ted Nugent, right?
I fucking hope not. And I'm pissed. I gotta learn about this guy now. Fuck.
That wasn't even my guy, but now it might be.
I don't want to learn about that fucking guy at all.
Ted Nugent?
Yeah, if Ted Nugent's connected to whatever the...
no, I don't know.
Fucking idiot. Anyway.
Fine. I don't know I don't know much about George Thorogood. I know he's a musician.
Mm-hmm.
He was a rock musician.
Oh, so you're going really obscure here. You're going to give me a name that I don't possibly
You know this name. I know this name. I have no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I know about him. I don't know why, though. So, this
scared.
name...
I'm scared because one day I'm going to feel like I know everything. I'm going to spout off a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
This little contest, this segment is it's terrifying.
You're going to have these fake realisms in your head. Yeah.
I'm going to spout them off.
All right.
And then the next week I'm going to have to find out that I was like so horrifically wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right. So tell me everything you know about Karl Marx.
He was a philosopher. And I think he was a minimalist.
Yeah.
And I think there was some communism in there, or probably socialism. I think Karl Marx is a super heavy socialist philosopher. That's what I'm going to say it is, but I don't know.
But so you don't know of anything he did at all? Because I know he's on he was on the U.S. government's like hit list, and the only reason I know that is because I watched that movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey. And his character's name was Karl. They took him in, and they said, there used to be another Karl that we didn't like here either. Or something like that, paraphrasing. But they said that, and I was like, well, they must be talking about Karl Marx. Because they made that. Karl Marx was, like, on their, like, some sort of hit list or some sort of...
Oh, okay. So, like, that guy from... What was the movie called with Jim Carrey? That was a good movie, too.
Yes Man.
Oh, Yes Man? No. Oh, Yes Man.
It happened. It was a scene in Yes Man where he gets taken in at the airport. It doesn't matter about the fucking movie. What I'm saying is that they said the line, "Oh, well, there was another," because his character's name was Karl. They're like, there was another Karl that wasn't well liked by the U.S. government or something along those lines, and they're referring to
Karl Winslow.
Karl Winslow
From Family Matters.
That's the second time that's come up.
There's
on
a
the podcast.
spin up.
Karl Marx. So that's the most that I know. I know that he's not wanted. I think he did something. He must have done something.
Yeah, he shot a kid. I shot a kid. Remember? So Winslow is in the car.
You're still talking about Karl
So what's
Winslow.
going on? You know I'm going to push pencils? Nah, I'm on. And then they're talking. So what happened to you, man? Why'd you get out? I shot a kid. That's Karl Winslow. In the movie, that his name is Karl. And then he makes another appearance and maybe another Die Hard, maybe not. But anyway, Family Matters was a spinoff of that guy in that city named Karl, who's a cop, who has a family. And then Urkel.
In Die Hard.
Yeah, they spun off Karl's character into Family Matters. It's actually true.
Fuck off.
He was also, if you are educated, that was a Chicago story, right?
Educated.
Check it out. If you're educated in the way that I am about dumb shit you don't need to know, this is really interesting.
That's more accurate.
So there's a show called Perfect Strangers with Balky Bartakowitz and Larry Hamilton.
Yeah.
The security guard in their building was Karl Winslow. His name was Karl, played by the same character.
Same
He
actor.
started, so he was doing Karl's security worker on Perfect Strangers, got the gig on Die Hard, right? Gets Family Matters, where he plays Karl, the cop, raising a family, yeah. So they were all pumped up about this thing, and then Urkel just fucking took it right over. Urkel just destroyed the whole thing. It's hilarious. If you watch Family Matters from beginning to end, which you should never do that, you'd have to.
Says a guy
that'd be
who
the saddest thing.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that. And you would realize that, like, you just watch other characters not even get 1 minute of time. There was like an aunt and a grandma and a very little kid that could dance really well and shit like that. And they just swamped them all. It was just the Urkel show.
It was just Steve Urkel. Well, Karl was on it.
Yeah, it was Karl, the daughter, Anthony, the son, and Karl, basically. And then the mom would interject once in a while. But I think the other characters had like contracts where they like had to be on the show. So they'd be in an argument. And the family would just be like sitting on the couch watching TV, like,
Just
like looking around,
background
not
actors.
saying any lines. Yeah, they became extras on their own show.
Extras on their own fucking show.
Yeah, man.
There's only fucking 6 people on the show, and 4 of them were
Oh no,
extras.
because the thing they had a cast of like 8. It was like,
Oh, God.
yeah, and it just went down to like 2 people. Did I do that?
Oh my God. Stephen Urkel.
Stephen Urkel or Stefan Urkel.
Stefan Urkel.
Stefan.
That's what it was. So I was going to ask you. So you don't want to tell? Do you not want to tell this story?
Oh, the BB gun story.
Well, you said you were going to tell it today.
Oh, okay. I'll tell the BB gun
We
story.
can move on from that though. But
No, of course not. No, this is long overdue. I got to tell the BB gun story. And you weren't there for any of this, is that right? That was it was Mark and Chuck. Okay.
I was not there.
So, I was living in an apartment in downtown Whippy, and I Canadian Tire one day. I was shopping for something, and I come across these pistols, these clear plastic pistols with orange tips and green parts inside and stuff, very fluorescent.
Handgun or rifle?
Well, the first one I bought was a handgun, and then I returned the handgun when it broke, and then I bought 2 Uzis. And then when the 2 Uzis failed, they gave me a shotgun. So I got this air. I think they're called airsoft pellets.
It's a rifle. It's not a shotgun. It didn't shoot like 12 of them out or something.
You could pump the chamber as many as you wanted and fire them all at once, or you
Okay.
could fire one that would go really far. So I had that, and it would let you know. It stung real bad.
Yeah.
At like 30 feet, you got hit. So, I don't know. I was always screwing around and like showing some friends, like, watch this. And I'm like, there'd be somebody mouthing off in the street, like screaming all night, like won't go to bed or anything.
Your apartment overlooked the downtown core, where there was back then there was at least a half dozen bars that all let out at the same time.
Exactly, and there was a pita pit, so they all gathered right underneath my door, and there was just fights in the streets all night from 2 till 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed my friend Chuck. I go, here, watch this, and I just poke the gun out the screen window and just start plugging these assholes that are screaming in the street, won't go to bed, and they're picking fights, and they're just yelling like obscenities, saying racist stuff, and I'm just going like pam pam pam, and Chuck is losing his mind. He thinks it's the funniest thing he's ever seen. So he won't get over it, and we start doing it all the time. He's like, let's do that. I just did it one time. And then we really got into the hobby of it and started doing it, and it was like crazy.
You'd be out of the bar going, okay, when are we going back to your place?
Yeah, it was so funny to do. It became like the best time ever. And you'd watch guys pick fights with just like one guy would be a total jerk. You'd see him just like whip a pizza crust on the floor and like push his girlfriend. And you just like start zapping him, and you think that someone's like screwing with him in the street, and he'd go like running after people, and then he would end up getting his ass kicked.
Oh my
awesome.
God.
So we were doing it all the time. Then one night, we had gotten pretty complacent with how often we were doing this, and my friend came by with another friend, like, show him what we do. So I really wanted to show off, so I didn't even use the screen window. I went up on the rooftop of my apartment building and just started firing off shots. And then the other 2 friends were just firing off shots with me. But I'm pretty good with the gun at this point too. So I'm really pegging people I'm just posting up with my knee up on the roof and I'm just pumping this gun away. Really dumb. Like crazy, crazy dumb. And again, these won't like harm you if they hit you in the eye or something like that. They're just like getting hit with a really hard ball of water or something. Like, I don't want anyone to think...
It's a little rubbery pellet thing.
Yeah, it's a plastic pellet. I don't know. It weighs nothing. It just like it hits you and you're like, what?
It's not even as bad as a Red Ryder BB gun.
No, it feels like a mosquito sting that happened for half a second. Yeah. But you just feel it. I mean, if you were to shoot someone like right in the cheek with it, like point blank,
point blank,
it would leave a sting. But that's the worst it would do. So I don't want people to think I'm really trying to harm anyone because that's really spooky. But, so I was doing that, and sure enough, we were doing it for way too long. We might have done it for like a solid 10 minutes. And like everyone had figured us out, and they had all called the police. People in the street were calling the police. We didn't know. And doesn't like a cruiser pull up and put a spotlight right on me. And then another cruiser pulls up at the other corner of my building, and like 5 cruisers, my rectangular building, surrounded my building at all sides. And their spotlights going everywhere. And I'm like, oh shit. And we just pick up everything. We try to run back to the door. I fumbled with my keys, and then the spotlight was on us. And they're like, put your hands up, like screaming.
They have the helicopter spotlight or what?
No, it wasn't a helicopter spotlight.
No chopper?
No, they would have,
one chopper.
With the call that was coming in, I'm sure a chopper's on the way. Like, people were saying there's a guy on our roof with a gun.
Yeah.
Like, not good, man. So, yeah, they scrambled fast, and...
So they come up what? They come up the back. I remember your place had a back.
It was a fire escape out the back and a front door, but we recovered all ends. There was no escape, and they were going to get us. So I put my hands up and just kind of told my friends that I'll take the heat because this was my idea. So I was like, okay. I put my hands up and I started walking down the fire escape, and they're all just screaming at me and to like lay down and everything, and I just keep going down the fire escape frontwards. I'm like, can't go backwards. So I keep walking down frontwards.
Yeah.
And Chuck and Mark are standing at the top of the fire escape, using their names. Shit. Bleep, bleep.
There's a lot of Chuck and Marks.
There's a lot of Chuck and Marks out there. So I start walking to the fire escape. One cop goes around me, goes right up the fire escape. Starts screaming at Mark and Chuck. And they're like, where's the gun? Where's the gun? Where's the gun? And they're going, we don't know, man. We don't know, homie. Like, whatever. And then Chuck is literally just standing on it with his feet.
Oh.
And it's like, it's like 2.5 inches thick, clear plastic shot. It's like you're standing on a children's toy. It's pretty obvious. So the cop's like, what's that? It's like, oh, that's the gun.
Oh my God.
And then I just said, like, I told him, like, just blame everything on me because it was all my idea. So I started walking down, and then he's like, were they firing the gun? I'm like, no, it was all me. And I just walked down, and they sat me down on a curb, and then moving from a curb to like where there's like 2 posts and a chain between them, like a parking barrier thing.
Yeah.
I sat on that for like 2.5 hours.
That's not comfortable.
While the cops questioned me nonstop. There was cars coming in, cars going out the entire night. Everyone having big discussions about what to do about what I had done.
Yeah.
And then at some point there was about 6 cops standing around, and one cop would come over and be like, all right, I want to know everything. I'd be like, I've already told you. He's like, no, I want to know everything. So this one cop just started coming over to me and goes, how did you answer this question? What do you say to this? What do you say to that? And I just answered all the questions, and he seemed to be coaching me through it. Just like, you got to realize how much trouble you're in. I'm going to try to get you out of this. This is the kind of vibe he gave me.
Yeah.
Because just previous to that, he'd come over to me and gone like, look, man, you are facing like 6 charges, 2 of which I've never even heard of. So first off, you have assault. You have assault with a deadly weapon. You have a sniper charge. I've never heard of a sniper charge. You have conspiracy to create harm. You have a conspiracy to create chaos. So I'm like, oh my God. Like he's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
And he goes like, you're not going to jail tonight. You're going to go to prison and await psychiatric evaluation unless we figure out what really happened here. And he's like, you better start telling me the truth right now.
Jesus Christ.
But the thing is, the truth was he was guiding me through the truth the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He was alluding to what is the right answer to the question, or to answer it with as little detail as possible. And he got me through the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then more and more cops keep showing up, and the whole time it's just this weird revolving door.
Weird circus of them coming back and
there was always
probably
like the
trying to
same
see
ones
if
there.
you said something different from one to the next to the
Yeah, and there was one really, really angry, huge dude, one cop, and he was so mad the whole time. He was absolutely out of his mind. He was walking from one cruiser to another, like trying to rally guys to like toast me, I think.
Yeah.
And, I just was really scared of him the whole time. I even said to one cop, like, I'm really scared of that guy. He's like, yeah, you should be. Shit.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that keeps going on and on and on. I keep getting more and more questions.
What, are you just thinking like I'm a fucking moron this whole time?
The whole time I'm thinking I'm going to jail and I'm going to prison.
Yeah.
I didn't have time to think about anything else. There's a point where I'm like, after about an hour and a half, I think, oh shit, they've been up there like counseling her for like an hour and a half through what's going on, because Justin might be going to jail.
Oh, like your ex that you were with?
Yes, the girl I was with at the time.
Yeah.
So there was that going on in my head. I was freaking out pretty bad. And so eventually, out of all the cycling of police, one new cruiser just shows up. And they all circle around him. They all go straight to his car, and he's like getting out. I guess he was a captain or something.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opinions going on about what to do.
Yeah. So they called in a supervisor.
They called in a captain or supervisor. And this guy shows up. At the time, I had like a big handlebar mustache.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbass.
Yeah. And it had like chops on it and stuff too. It was really bad.
You've got some pretty offensive t-shirts. What t-shirt were you wearing?
Oh, that's, you know what? Probably nothing.
You're all right? Yeah.
I was, just like, I don't know. Oh, God. It was a Canadian leaf, and it had the chronic patch in the middle of it instead of the maple leaf.
No,
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I was also wearing a 420 hat.
No, you weren't.
But this cop shows up, and he goes, I remember the quote was, it's like, this fucking idiot, this nerd, this Wyatt Earp, like, fucking idiot. You're going to ruin his life. You're going to send him, he's going to go to, because I was going to go to jail for, like, a long time. He's like, if they started the proceedings, I guess is what he was saying. He's like, go to your jobs. But this Wyatt Earp looking asshole, or he's either asshole or idiot. This Wyatt Earp looking fucking asshole. Get out of here. Get out. He just scrambles them all. And he goes,
they just turn around. They're like, oh, fuck.
Everyone gets in the cruiser and they're all gone. He walks over to me and goes, where's the gun? And I go, it's over there. I think the guy had it and he put it down. And he's like, is that? And yeah, right there. He picks it up. He goes, where do you live? I go, right there. He's like, go home now. I'm like, okay. So I start going to the fire escape. He leaves. But I'm like shaking. Like, I've been sitting on a chain. I can't move fast. I am just trembling, drenched in sweat. So I'm walking up the fire escape like real slow, just thinking things over. And then that super cop from before, the one that was really angry.
Yeah.
He came around, just like e-braked in and started running up the fire escape at me. And he's like, what's your name? I'm like, I told you. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, tell him my name again, tell him all my information, everything. He's like, you come into that thing ever again? I ever see you again? He just started going off on me. He's like, if I ever see you again, you're toast, you're dead. Like, I'm like, oh man. Okay. Walked back to my apartment and just, ooh.
It sounds like the guy might have been so angry because he's like, I almost shot a kid. Like,
well, that's what, because one cop, not him, one cop told me that there was somebody that almost unholstered on you. And I was like, unholstered? He's like, that means that they had to shoot to stop and kill. So that was it. That was going to be it for me.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
You're fucking...
Yeah. Like, he didn't receive the order to do it. He just, like, thought he should.
Yeah.
Really fucked up. Bad story. Funny story. Bad story.
Funny now. Funny now.
It was funny the next day, too, in a sense of, like, I can't believe that happened to me. I can't believe that our system works that well here. Because if that was in the States, oh, my God.
You're done for.
Toast, man. Toast.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. You wouldn't pull that shit in the States, so because they have more respect for guns down there.
Yeah.
Fear and ridiculousness about it, too, but...
Yeah.
You don't fuck around as much.
Yeah, you wouldn't fuck around like that down there.
You don't fuck around in Dallas, man.
You're like, I'm in Whitby, whatever.
Oh, forgive me. You wouldn't fuck around in Dallas much, because, like, it's not open carry, it's concealed carry allowed state.
I don't fucking know. Their rules are wild to me. Yeah, that story's fucking crazy, man.
You got an opener of some sort?
No, you threw your lighter behind the couch, remember?
Ah, dang it. All right, give me 10 seconds. So we covered George Thorogood. We covered
Karl Marx.
Karl Marx. But I think I got a good shot at Karl Marx. I think I might have nailed that.
Yeah, I was like, what is he famous for? And like, I know that that's probably a good depiction of who he was as a character, but like, there must have been some event of some sort to give him that status.
I think he had a book of philosophy that made him famous.
Like, I think he did actually write a manifesto of some sort.
Yeah.
Like he was like he was making plans for something. That's my guess.
I think he's a communist or socialist hero. That's what I think, but I don't know.
Well, probably. I have no fucking idea.
It might be like even a nihilist thing for all I know, but
yeah. If you could stay one age forever, what would it be?
Right here, right now, actually. I think I'm at my happiest right now.
Really? Right now?
I think so.
35.
I think being like 21 for the rest of your life, for the rest of your existence.
Yeah.
Because do you die after 90 years, or do you live that way forever? Do you live on for a million years like heaven? What is this story?
Yeah, I guess there's got to be some rules. Also, do you have your brain now? Or can you get smarter?
No. I think you'd go back in that existence. So,
and you never get any more smarter than you are then? Any more smarter? Obviously not.
We might never get more smarty ever smarties.
Yeah.
Not thinking thinkers?
Remember night?
Do you remember when we used to make thinky thinks and smarty smarts?
Fuck.
This is more smarter.
Yeah. Would you get smarter at all? Yeah,
I don't think that smarter.
If you can still learn and become more educated, then I would say being like 25, 26.
I think of it almost like a groundhog.
Maybe like 27. 27 is pretty good, man.
Okay, think of it. Here's what I'm thinking. All right, say you're 22. Say somebody picks 22.
Yeah,
there's tons of fun for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Now you got to think. What if it's like a Groundhog Day thing? Like eventually, your brain would have to process information, so you have to get smarter from that point on. So what if you existed from that date and your brain matured into like a 100-year-old brain, but you still lived the 22-year-old lifestyle with that body the whole time?
Yeah, I would probably take that.
You go with that?
Why? You could stay active until you're senile, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it the body's energy or is it the brain's energy at that point in your life?
I don't know. I think it's the brain that
it's the brain and the stimulus that wants to do it. Like, it's not, everyone says like, oh, you're youthful, you got lots of energy. I think it's just the way your brain works.
But maybe you go senile because your body hurts so much.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I think I would go like somewhere in my late 20s. I think that would be the best.
I like it right now. I'm really happy right now.
Or early 30s. Yeah. Early 30s is pretty good. That's a good age.
I guess it was fun because there was more around. There's more people around.
Less responsibility too.
Yeah. Responsibility doesn't. I like people with responsibilities and talking to them and finding out why they do what they do. Because a lot of them, there's a lot of people that are so unhappy with it. And then there's the other spectrum of people that are they love their work. Yeah. I never found a mix between the two. I'm just always like just bummed out that I'm working, but don't really mind what I'm doing.
Yeah. That's not a bad place to be.
Yeah.
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 Not many people can like. A lot of people are like they just try to like turn their brain off and then go to work.
That's me for sure. Like I'm like just a stone faced wreck at work, just miserable the whole time. Just knowing that it only takes like 8 hours until you're out of here.
Only.
Yeah. It's the long shifts.
Do you ever have work dreams?
Yeah. All the time.
Those are the fucking worst.
Like at work, just
you're like, I'm not even getting paid for this.
Yeah. Yeah. I have it in the other direction too, where I'm at work and I'm dreaming. Where like I literally just I'll be walking and be like, oh, you're not actually having a conversation with anyone. You've been alone in a dark office space by yourself for the last 7 hours, and you're talking to yourself.
Are you talking out loud?
Yep. You'll find yourself talking out loud. You'll do it for days and days on end.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I guess, I haven't worked like a solo job in a long time. I've always working with people.
It gets spooky, man, when you're literally by yourself and working, so you know that there's a task ahead of you, but it takes 3 hours.
Yeah.
Your brain will actually shut down.
Yeah.
And you'll end up in a dream state, and you'll actually catch yourself like, what the fuck was I just thinking about? On my feet, walking with my eyes open across the field, and you realize you've almost been in a form of meditation because the work in front of you takes so long, and it's so.
I sometimes have that when I'm in my car.
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm like, whoa, I've been fucking.
I'm surprised there's not more enlightenments with the car though, like where people actually will almost in a form of meditation because you just do it for so long. There's all these commuters like.
Yeah.
I did.
My commute's not bad, but like when I have a shit drive, like tonight I had a shit drive, like I was like. Holy fuck, this is taking a long time. Yeah.
Both you and I are victims of the Toronto commuting system. We are.
It's terrible.
We're now at the 7th worst in the world traffic or something like that.
Yeah, it's not much less than fucking Los Angeles, that's for sure.
But it's hell. So
Los Angeles is the worst.
I was driving home. I mean, everyone can commiserate with this. Maybe it's not even a good story to tell because you're just going to get bummed out. But it would take me 2.5 hours to get home every day. And over a course of like a year and a half apprenticeship, me and another guy that I started with on the same day, we were just like, what's it been? Because we lived like a block away from each other. And we realized that in a year's time, we had literally spent 4 months of waking hours in traffic of our lives.
Like 4
of the year.
If you were to add it up, it's 24 hours.
It'd be like 1/8 of the year or something. It was some absurd amount that we spent in our waking hours in absolute misery in traffic.
In
going
traffic.
Home. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to find something that entertains you.
Because
traffic.
It was 5.5 hours of every single day, minus your weekends.
I love listening. Like the reason I started a podcast, I love a good podcast. I love audiobooks. I'll get into a couple of those now and then. Mm-hmm. And then at least
I haven't done an audiobook yet. I haven't done one.
They're not bad.
I'm looking forward to it. I just don't know what one to do.
They are all dependent on the person who's reading it.
Has anyone done Fear and Loathing yet?
Oh, I'm sure. Sure of it.
I'm sure there'd be like a billion guys that have done it. Maybe
Check out.
A bunch of Tom Waits has done it.
There's an app called Audible. I think it's a subscription-based one, but it's like Netflix.
Free ones are hard to find.
They're out there.
Yeah,
or you can buy the one book you want.
Yeah.
You can always do that. But I'm sure somebody's done it. There's like, you can get different people that have read the same fucking book. A lot of times they'll get, if it's a celebrity author, they read their own book. Like I remember listening to Tracy Morgan do his own book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
The whole book?
The whole book. I think it might have been abridged, so it's like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's great. It's really good. You can get, apparently nice. Tina Fey's is really good.
Bossy Balls? Bossy
Pants?
Bossy Pants, yeah.
She's read hers.
I'd like to see that. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start doing that then. Because the podcast, I'm actually getting tired of some of them. I'm listening to Marin's all the time. I'm like, despite how good he is, it's completely dependent on the guest now to make the show interesting at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't even have guests, so we're fucked.
Well, we'll get talented guests in.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in constant flux of who we're going to have on as our first guest. I don't know who it's going to be. Yeah. Like I really, it's going to happen organically when someone just says like, I'm buying a mic and coming over.
Yeah, we don't have an extra mic, so that's what it's going to take.
So it's like, okay, well then you're the first guy then, I guess.
Yeah. I got an extra cable, so if you're listening and you want to buy a mic, go buy yourself a mic. Get a good one. I don't want to have to edit it.
I think this is worthy to bring up. I just reminded myself of my favorite comedy movie scene of all time. The best.
Comedy movie.
Just a scene in a comedy movie. Of just a dumb comedy movie.
Okay.
Okay. So, the very underrated film I'm about to bring up is Deuce Bigalow, European Gigolo.
Not the first one.
That's right. The second one.
The dumb comedy sequel.
It was obviously a bad movie. It was not good. I mean, the first one was a fluke. It was so funny. It's an underrated movie. Honestly, Deuce Bigalow, Male Gigolo, the first one.
I've seen them.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the comedy greats. The second one is just awful. It is just absolutely brutal. They had to shit it out as fast as they could. They didn't have the same like inspiration or ideas that they should have had. But there was this awesome bit. Now, the premise of the story is that there's a serial killer, and he's out killing male prostitutes out in Europe.
Yeah. So
none of the male prostitutes want to do their jobs because they don't want to be exposed out in the streets and getting murdered by this guy. Or this serial killer, for that matter. And so there's like I guess it's like a library or like a smoking bar or whatever, that club that they all hang out in. Their frat house, I guess. And this like super male head honcho male prostitute comes in the room and is like, "What's going on, guys? We got to get out there. Like, no one's doing their jobs. We got it's
He's the pimp.
It's all in the French accent. What is it? Yeah. So you might got to do your jobs. Got to get out there. What's going on? Hey, what's the matter with you?" He's like, I got a broken leg. It's like another guy's like, "I broke my penis really bad the other day." And then another guy just goes, hey, I'm gay. I just found out the other day that I'm gay. So he's like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Also, would anyone here like a blowjob?" And another guy in the room goes, he just leans over and goes, "I would." And he goes, "Okay, I guess I'll go put that man's penis in my mouth."
So he was lying to get out of work. Yeah. And he's like, "Well, I guess I'm going to go do
giving the guy a blowjob now." This little blonde guy with a bowl cut. A very good movie.
And I remember the first one a bunch. I didn't watch the second one. But.
I think I watched the second one in theaters and man walked out during it.
Oh, really?
There's wicked lines in it. Like
those are good hangover movies, like when you're fucking drunk or still drunk maybe the next day.
The best hungover movie of all time on a Sunday is still Cliffhanger, starring John Lithgow.
John Lithgow. Yeah. John Lithgow as a villain, though, is great. Oh,
the best villain I've ever seen.
He's so good.
Obviously, the number one villain I've ever seen. Like, one of those, like, because it's kind of like reflects that movie Speed. And those guys, it's like monstrous guys from a distance.
Yeah.
But if you could just punch him in the face, so they give you all that, like, visceral, I hate this guy so much.
Yeah. But there's something about John Lithgow where you kind of like him.
Well, in that movie, in Cliffhanger, there's no liking him there. He was a total dick the whole time.
He's got a lot of charisma, though.
Yeah.
And some villains are just, like, dicks.
Mm-hmm.
But John Lithgow's like, oh, man, like, he's good.
Yeah, I like his logic. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I love him in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't just love to hate him.
And it's not just because Sly was hanging off a rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another guy that always plays a villain, or this obnoxious, kind of waspy guy. It's the guy that played Shooter McGavin.
Oh.
He always plays like this, like...
just a real cocksucker.
Like a guy with a sweater knotted over his shoulders and a nice golf shirt, just always winning.
What a dick. That guy's such a fucking dick.
Everyone hates him. I mean, that's a tough persona. Imagine you're an actor.
I remember realizing that eventually one day where you're like, man, I hate this fucking guy, and you hate him so much, and then you see the actor and you hate him, and you're like, I shouldn't hate him because he's doing such a good job of making me hate him.
I bet you it's a harder job to do what they do.
That was like, you had Breaking Bad on here the other time, and like, is it Hank? What's his name?
What, Walt Whitman?
Walt.
Yeah.
Walter's wife?
Yeah, Walt Whitman. Walter White.
Walter White. Walt's wife, is, I fucking hate her. Skylar.
Yeah.
I can't stand her. She's the worst.
She's not logical. She's emotional.
And I'm realizing that she does an amazing job because, like, you're not, like, that's the vibe she's going for, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always forget to give them praise for that. I'm always like, fuck her.
Yeah.
And I see them show up in another movie or another TV show, and I'm just like, oh, God, not them.
I know exactly about that. There's a reason I don't want to watch that show, Jessica Jones.
Because you don't like her?
She's in Breaking Bad, and she's a cunt in Breaking Bad. She's horrible.
She's really good.
She blackmails people. Well, I bet you she is. I obviously she's a talented character. I've seen her other stuff. She's very funny. But.
Yeah. She's really good in that TV show, The Bee in Apartment 23.
Yeah, that was with like
James Van Der Beek.
Van Der Beek.
Have you seen it?
I saw something about it.
He's really good. He plays himself.
Yeah, and he's like in the same apartment.
A mocked version of himself. And he just like, yeah, it's really good. Because he just plays jokes about himself and the things that he's done, being fucking Dawson and all that shit. So.
Yeah, I think that should be redeeming. I think we should see that guy around from time to time now, because he really did make a mock of himself, but he also played that character really good in whatever, was that shitty show? It was a horrible show.
It was Dawson's Creek. Yeah.
And it was an god-awful show.
I never watched it. He was amazing.
But he was clearly talented. Kind of like that Shia LaBeouf. Like, we have a little shitty sitcom here. I forget what his sitcom was. But
he had a sitcom?
He had a sitcom. I think it was called like Steve and Nick or something. It was just weird. It was like a YTV thing.
The other... Oh, fuck. There was a person I was going to say about that. Who'd you say before Shia LaBeouf? Who we were talking about?
Zuckerberg?
No! How am I forgetting this? You fucker. You've derailed me completely.
I haven't derailed you,
You're just like, Shia LaBeouf!
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, I did that.
Yeah. Fuck.
Okay, so we're going to record us figuring this out? Fine.
I might cut it, but...
Yeah, I'm sure cut it.
Yeah.
It might be. It's not going to be entertaining. So we were talking about this. We ended up with James Van Der Beek.
That's who it was. James Van Der Beek was amazing in Rules of Attraction.
Oh, so you've never seen it?
You never saw that?
No.
You need to see that. He's a fucking completely different person.
No.
And it's amazing. It's a really good movie.
Wasn't that... I guess I'm getting that mixed up with that movie, Rules of Attraction. What's it called? Indecent Proposal?
Yeah, that's with Demi Moore and like Robert Redford.
That sounds pretty cool.
And Robert Redford offers... I forget who Demi Moore's husband was in it. Some famous guy. Offers Demi Moore like $1 million if he can have a night with her. Maybe even for the sex, too. I think he actually offers to pay her for sex.
It's sex and a night.
And the husband's like, we need the money, go do it.
But she's admitting that she's falling in love over one night with the guy or something.
I don't think she's falling in love, but it's like causes a bunch of turmoil. I don't know, man. That was back in the fucking late 80s, early 90s or something.
Without seeing it, that's the assumption of the plot I'm making right now.
Well, you should watch it. We'll talk about it. All right, well, we're going to sign this off.
What?
It's been like an hour and 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, but we haven't even got to the bottom of anything.
Well, do we ever?
All right, what's your favorite planet?
Skipping the obvious Uranus joke, I'm going to go Jupiter.
Jupiter's yours, eh?
Yeah, it's got the most moons, doesn't it? I think it does. Yeah.
Good take. Well, it is the biggest.
And the biggest.
Yeah.
Jupiter, what's yours?
It's a tough one. I've never really settled on anything. I've never settled on anything.
I mean, Saturn's pretty cool because it's got so many rings. But...
I mean, everyone liked... Yeah, Saturn's cool, but Saturn's at the same time is half a gas cloud. Like, you don't see that... You don't get to see the surface of the planet. So, I mean, it is Mars for me because that's the most we've explored. So it's the most interested I'm in. So I think it's my favorite.
I'm just like, whatever, we've been there now.
On a moral basis,
our robots have been
there. I love Neptune and Pluto, the two outsiders.
I always forget about Neptune.
No. Neptune's the last one.
I know nothing about Neptune.
Neptune was the second last, and now he's the last. Pluto has been considered a natural satellite to our solar system and not to a planet.
It's called, oh man, we looked this up the other day.
It's a moon dwarf.
A dwarf planet.
No.
It's called a dwarf planet.
Yeah,
I looked that up.
Okay.
I looked that up. I thought I was having this conversation with somebody.
There's crazy ones, right? There's crazy. You know that some planets are oblong? We found now that some of their orbits are so fast that they're not a sphere, but they are oblong planets. They are.
Oh, the planets aren't round.
They're like egg-shaped in a sense.
Because they've been like weird shaped.
Like a balanced egg.
They probably don't spin and
They spin so fast that they're oblong.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's some like there's all kinds of crazy discoveries out there. They do them with
You're right. There are.
You can put the I sound like I get from ICP right now.
Yeah. You want to talk about magnets?
Fucking miracles.
Next?
How do they work? Yeah.
It was magnets.
It's magnets. Yeah.
You want to talk about magnets now? How do they work?
How the fuck do they work? The SNL spin on that was
so many crazy discoveries out there.
I don't want to talk to a scientist. Y'all motherfucking lies and get me pissed. And then he put a gun to his head when he said those lines too.
The fact that you know that many ICP lines is making me question our friendship.
Like, buddy, You got to watch that Miracles video. It circulated.
Oh, God, no.
It didn't circulate enough. Like, people should really be exposed.
I think it circulated more than enough.
They're such morons that it should be.
Yes, that's true.
It's crazy that what happens is it doesn't matter what you're doing.
The best thing to come from the entire like ICP circus of juggalos is the episode of Workaholics where they go to one of those jug fests or juggalo fests or something.
Yeah, the Gathering of the Juggalos, I think it's called.
Sure.
No, I don't think it's. It must have been the final season or something then.
No, it was in like the second season, third season. It's great.
What a great bunch of guys. That was an excellent show.
Yeah. Did you watch Game Over, Man?
Yeah, I did. Fantastic.
Yeah. I got really high. I can't remember it all.
Yeah,
I think I fell asleep too.
Something like that.
I got really high and fell asleep. But I remember laughing.
But the thing is, it's just on Netflix. Like, it does take away. Because, like, imagine that movie came out. Like, Wayne's World was such a big deal.
I don't like comedies in the theater.
Yeah, you're right. You're right not to.
They're not funny until you're kind of just, like, sitting at home, not expecting anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, watching, like, Step Brothers with, like, some of my oldest friends, like, dude friends, that's the best way to watch it.
Yeah, sit and watch a comedy with your buddies.
Top Secret or, like,
Secret.
Airplane.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean, like...
the National Lampoons and
Naked Gun and shit.
Was Naked Gun was National Lampoons?
No, it wasn't.
But Airplane was National Lampoons.
I don't know about that one. I'll have to look into that.
Caddyshack was National Lampoons. Yeah, I'm talking about ass. Yeah, I'm totally wrong about that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be credited for that much stuff. They weren't that great, but they did awesome. There was very new stuff.
Did you not watch that movie with I can't remember his name. We're terrible with names.
Not Bill Hader. But
no, it's not Bill Hader. It's a guy. It's MacGruber.
It's MacGruber, yeah.
Why can't I remember his name?
Tim.
No, he's in Last Man on Earth, and I can't remember his name. That's the worst.
Did
really you watch that movie?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good story.
Yeah, it was good. Good story. It actually made me really like National Lampoons for what they did. It made me think he's an idiot for not like moving forward with what they were trying to do. He basically restricted them from becoming successful or
He's
more
an alcoholic.
Yeah. Also, all of his drug habits and alcoholic. Yeah, that probably got in the way.
He was an abused alcoholic. It just happens.
Yeah. Verdict's not out for that yet. No.
They get to be artists, but they also don't get to be happy either. It's really
that seems to be the
very common story with artists.
Yeah, it's true. Any last words?
Did we cover everything that we didn't? Oh, we didn't declare the new thing we don't know about. Oh yeah, it was George Thorogood. All right, so we got to look up George Thorogood, and who do you got to look up?
Karl Marx. All right, I'm Mike Smith. This is Justin McDonald.
I want you to sign off this time. Is it always me this time?
Nah, whatever. This will never work.